Welcome back to Speak for Yourself. Let's head to my hometown of Dallas, where the Cowboys released safety, Clinton Dix, after signing him in March. The move has, chill out, Marcelo. Let me get through my read. The move has some thinking a roster spot will go to another safety. That's the great Earl Thomas. Stephen Jones said that decision wasn't made because of Thomas, but he didn't close the door either, saying, quote, I wouldn't rule anything out. LA, back with us, but Marcellus, I got to go to you. Do you like Stephen Jones keeping the door open for Earl Thomas?
I don't like him keeping the door open. I'd rather look, man, I'm not built on someone who's going to be trivial in a moment like this. And I know why he's doing it, but at the same time, I think you should have conviction, especially in leadership when moments like this present itself. But who am I to say that? Because it benefits the Dallas Cowboys tremendously to play the game just this way. It keeps them in the news cycle. It keeps them full of attention, which has translated to them being, what, the highest value franchise in all of sports? So who am I to talk about this? But the same way there's a separation of church and state, there should be a separation of team and business. Like, this is helping the business of the Dallas Cowboys, but it's really not helping the team in any way, because if Earl Thomas is coming in the door, you want to know that as a player. If he's not coming in the door, you kind of want to know that as well, because if you look at this situation, there are other guys who are slotted to be there. Xavier Woods, Darian Thompson. Like, those guys, do you really need to create another level of anxiety outside of just being in the NFL and having a star on your helmet? So it translates for them in terms of business, but I don't like it in terms of team building.
Here's what I need. I need the Cowboys, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones, all y'all Joneses. I need y'all to keep the door open, keep the lights on, pull out the chair, take out the silverware, set the plate, and let Earl Thomas come in and dine. Cowboys fans, what I cannot stand, and I'm sure y'all can't either, stop complaining about a problem that has a clear-cut solution. For years, the Cowboys have been complaining about not having a safety. And again, Marcellus has taken the throne of full-screen king, so I'm simply a full-screen prince. Full screen, please.
Okay.
The last time the Cowboys had a Pro Bowl safety, Low by Flo Rida was the #1 song. I was a senior in high school, and Marcellus, you, sir, weren't a host of a show. You were an Arena Football League analyst.
Philadelphia Soul.
Philadelphia Soul.
Stuff like that.
Since then, Earl Thomas has been to the most Pro Bowls of any safety in the National Football League, being 7. The Cowboys, y'all continue to complain about not having top-tier safeties. Last time was Roy Williams, Ken Hamlin in 07. You were about to trade a second-round pick for Earl Thomas just 2 years ago. Now you can get Earl Thomas for the cheap, and you gonna sit here and say, nah, we don't need Earl Thomas. We don't really have any other safeties that we love, but we surely don't love this future Hall of Famer either. Make it make sense, Jerry. Make it make sense, Steven. Honestly, Charlotte, you can make it make sense for me, too. I just need one of the Joneses, anybody in that Jones family. Please, make it make sense.
Come to the table, Charlotte. Speak some sense into it. Hey, listen, Ancho, that was pretty fly, man. I got to be honest with you there. I tend to think that this is a great move. It's a great decision. And the reason why is, listen, you got Dak Prescott, who is one of the most revered in the game right now. And he's playing on a franchise tag. So this is posturing. They don't want to have to pay. You talking about getting him on the low, but you sitting there driving his price tag up on the high. I know what you're doing there. I get that whole alumni deal. I appreciate it. but listen, I think that this is right. You do not want to overpay in a situation where you could possibly finagle it and get it for the low. And I don't think they know yet, Marcellus. To tell the team that they're going to sign Earl Thomas would be to mean that you're going to be prepared to pay what it is that they offer. And I don't think that they're prepared to do that. So this is posturing of sorts.
Yeah, I respect the process of posturing, because who knows what Earl Thomas is still commanding. Look, he is still a Pro Bowler, and he still has a name value and still has game. So maybe he's not sitting there saying I'm vet minimum or anything close to that.
Right.
But also, you have to show at least the perception, if you're not going to turn in your work, that you at least did your homework. And when you don't have conviction in these moments, it just seems like you haven't done your homework. Like I told you guys about the 2 draft war rooms I saw. The one was for the prospects coming out of college. The other one was for active players. They already have our names slotted. Clinton Dix is gone. You know who we could just put in there if we don't start the ones that are already on the roster. So I just like smoother transactions than this. But to your point, make it make sense, Acho. It does for the Dallas Cowboys. It makes dollars and cents. They're worth $5.5 billion in a place where the land is cheap. The land of $30,000 millionaires. I used to live in Dallas. I get it. Everybody out there bossing.
Can I interject something here?
Yes, LA.
Let me add to the conversation here. This may put it in a little bit more perspective as well. They may not feel the need to pursue purely based upon the feeling of what players they already have. I mean, let's be clear here, right? Our guy Ezekiel Elliott says this might be the most talented team that I've played on since I've been here. So they're pretty high on what they think their talent level is. And I'm assuming that didn't include, losing, Clinton Dix. So I don't feel as though they're in a desperate situation where it's like, we got to bring in Earl or it's not going to be a season. So I think I think they're pretty high on thinking they're a contender already.
Well, LeVar, all it takes is we're evaluating him like all prospects and you move forward. But keeping the door open is more of a conversation to help your bottom line more so than building your team.
That's fair.
This is my biggest problem, and Cowboys fans, I'll calm down. Let me bring my blood pressure down. Charlotte, I didn't mean to bring you into this conversation.
Hey, Charlotte.
You're a sweet woman. Here's the issue. I have some AirPods, the headphones that you put into your ears, the Bluetooth ones. I love them, but the problem was my right AirPod had started to spaz out on me. It would have a high-pitched tone, and I would sit there and I would complain about it, when the fact of the matter is I could have just gone to the store and gotten another one instead of complaining about it. The Cowboys for the last decade and change since I was in high school, complaining about not having a safety. Complaining about not having a safety.
That is true.
Just go to free agency pick one up in Earl Thomas. Simple as that, Cal.
Some old-ass AirPods, though.
Coming up in our big story.
31.
LeBron was kicking it in the bubble, minding his own business. He was called out on social media. We'll tell you